Hey everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. This is a topic that I wanted to discuss maybe about 2 years ago when it was more current. But then I see that a content creator brought it to the forefront again. And so this time I'm going to give my opinion. And one reason why I kind of shelved it and put it on the back counter is because I know that our community, we're so sensitive and triggered over, the least little things. With our community, we tend to want to strike first and ask questions later, if at all. We're too highly emotional. So I'm going to go ahead and give my personal opinion on the viral video of the black men in suits. Now, and before I say what I was going to say, I know that you have black women in the sisterhood who had things to say about it. Understand, I'm not in a sisterhood, but I'm giving an opinion from my own point of view. Now, I thoroughly understand the concept of what these young black males were trying to convey. They wanted to push the narrative, a positive narrative of clean-cut black men in suits. I get that. I love that. But at the same time, that, to me, it stems from a matriarchal upbringing, as it were. And I'm going to see if I can explain it the way that I'm thinking it in my mind. Black people are very highly clothes conscious, shoes, superficial conscious. And, they want to make sure that they looking snazzy and everything, but they lack substance emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. Yeah, you might look good in a suit, but what are your values? And I'm going to try to tie this all in together. Men of other cultures, they don't have to put on suits and walk down the street with their chest poked out, look at me. No, they're in their communities doing what they're supposed to be doing for their communities. And yes, Lord knows I get it. It's an uphill battle in the black community because of black women. I get that. We are a matriarchal community. But as I've said in videos before, in my community where I live, which is now like 60-something% white. It used to be almost 80% when we first moved over here. But you have like a lot of Middle Eastern people. Maybe a few miles down the road, you have a Polish community. There's an Italian type of kind of community, kind of dispersed within the community, right? So, as I said in a previous video, the minute some of the stores go empty, like a Rite Aid closed up, some Middle Eastern people brought up the empty store to create a grocery store for their community. And I'm going to tie it to the stores in Chicago that had to close up due to crime. And instead of the black men coming together to say we need to clean up the crime in this community, they got on their platforms crying to the companies, why would you close the stores in our communities when we need you? No, this is when black men should be getting together to pool their money together to, replace those stores themselves. What exactly does it mean you can put on a nice snazzy suit and walk down the street, but your communities are still in shambles? You have the mayor like Brandon Johnson, instead of holding the black youths in his community accountable for anything, he wants to give them a slap on the hand. I'm sorry, putting on suits to look good for a day, that means nothing to me. It should be more men. And again, I know that it's an uphill battle because of the black women in our community. I understand that. But putting on a suit is superficial. And what does it mean at the end of the day? And let me give you an example, and it might be off tangent. I don't know. Like, for example, you have first of all, black people want to be seen. That's why they get in their cars, blasting their music and looking around to see who sees them. Same things when black people put on some nice new clothes. They want to look around to see who sees them in their nice new clothes. Black people are desperate for attention. So that's why I can't take these men serious, because I don't see enough seriousness within the black community. So with all of that said, do any of you all remember the 1995 Million Man March? I do. And I remember thinking even then, this was before social media, it was before YouTube, this was already my opinion. And I'm saying this because people love to say that you just saying that, because that's the end thing to say right now, and you just being a grifter or whatever. Negro or negresses, please. I had this opinion long before YouTube. And I remember thinking even back then, what good is that march if everything is going to remain the same anyway? And not only did it remain the same, it got worse. The black community is worse off today than it was even back then. So I got this from Google, and I'm going to read it really quick. The 1995 Million Man March was a massive demonstration in Washington, D.C., where hundreds of thousands of black men gathered on October 16th to promote unity, personal responsibility, and community rehabilitation. I agree 1,000% with this. But it makes you wonder, why do we keep going left when we're trying to go right? I'll tell you why. It's politically motivated. And some of you all are not ready for that conversation. A lot of you keep voting for the very party that wants to keep black people in a suppressed state of mind. No other groups of men have to do these types of marches for their community. They just do for their communities. They're marrying the women. They're having kids within their marriage. And I get this. I get that a lot of times black women are a stumbling block. I get it. Because there is a saying, and I know I'm going to butcher it, that society can go no higher than its woman. And if you have a society of fallen, broken, harlot women, men do not want to marry those types of women. And those type of women a lot of times have the kids in the communities that end up terrorizing the communities. I would be more impressed seeing groups of black men taking the community over, rehabilitating houses, building stores for the communities. But I already know it can't happen because it's the main party that black people like to vote for purposely hinders the black collective mentally. And that's my topic for today. I hope I got my thoughts out. I know it's going to trigger some people. I don't give a flip. It's my opinion. I gave it, and I'll talk to you later.